Finally, I get to do a review and comparison of my #1 signature scent. Cue the intro. Hi, I'm Gabi and welcome back to another edition of the Fragrantician. This channel we talk about everything to do with fragrance. So please, if you are new here or if you're already existing here, hello. But if you're new, please don't forget to like my content, maybe add a comment, maybe share, and if you can, please subscribe. I would much appreciate it. So today we're talking about my #1 signature scent, and that is from the house of Guerlain. But I'm also doing a comparison because there's a flanker of a flanker. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Guerlain Black Perfecto, and then alongside that we also have the little sister, which is a flanker of a flanker, which is the Black Perfecto, but in the Eau de Toilette version. Let's talk about the Eau de Toilette version first. They both came out, I do believe, in 2017, so not so very recently. This is classed, I think, as possibly an Oriental floral. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll amend it up in my notes like I do. I'll also add my notes in like I normally do. This is a scent which was love at first sniff. Well, they both were. This has rose. It's I would say dominant on the rose. It has a black tea note, and I love tea. I'm a big tea drinker, so if you're a big tea drinker as well, put a thumbs up. But it's absolutely stunning, this fragrance. This is a 50 ml, which is a 1.6 fluid ounce. That's for the American audience, but I do mLs. So this is a 50 ml, this one. It does have your leather patchouli, your tonka bean in there, and your vanilla, I think it's got vanilla in there, but it's minus the cherry note. So whereas in the Eau de Parfum version, you have more of the sour cherry note, and the notes are much more amplified. So I'm going to test this on my hand. I love the atomizer on all Guerlain fragrances because you can control the actual fragrance in it. I immediately get that black tea which comes through, and actually the black tea, kind of like that tea note, does stay from the opening through to the heart as well, which I quite enjoy, that tea note. If you're not a tea note liker or connoisseur, then you probably won't like it. But it has got that rose, and I think it's got 2 or 3 different types of rose. It's got Bulgarian rose, I think it's got Taif roses, but it's not it is a light rose, but it still has a bit of depth to it. It still has a bit of gumption to it. Still has a little bit of grit to it. But this scent, it's light enough and it's not too dark enough to wear in the spring and summer. So this scent is easily a spring and summer scent as the Eau de Toilette. From the bottle, it smells completely different from on the skin or on paper. On me, fortunately, it sings on my skin, which is really lovely, as opposed to the Black Perfecto Eau de Parfum. I mean, that does sing on my skin as well, but this one, compared with this one here, this one is the Eau de Parfum, this is the Eau de Toilette. This one you can wear in autumn and winter easily, but hey ho, I've worn it in spring and summer as well. So I'm going to spray this Eau de Parfum version on this hand here. Let that dry down. Just shake my arm like I do. So you get more of that. You get more of the leather in this, which gives it that slight stark coldness to it, but a warmthness to it, which I think is from the tonka bean. As it dries down, the tonka bean makes it smooth, slightly creamy, because tonka bean I think is a resin of like vanilla. But you get that black tea note, you get the sour cherry. The sour cherry is more prominent in this one, and you've got the rose in there. You've got the licorice in there. I think the licorice is in this one as well, I think. But this one is just, there's not really much difference in it. I would say the sillage and the longevity of this isn't as strong and long as this one is. So this one you can wear in autumn and winter easily. The sillage on me is quite beast mode. The longevity on me, I've said this before in previous videos, it's about 6 hours on me, which is quite good because my skin normally eats fragrance. The eau de toilette on me is only about 4 hours, so I do have to respray. Once again, sensitive nose is itchy. But the eau de parfum version has a real depth to it. It has a darkness to it. It has edginess to it. It is, I've got to think which hand it's on. You have the real gothic, deep, dark vibe to it. I know I keep talking about this saying it's a deep, dark, gothic fragrance, but it is. But it is a fragrance I think you can wear day or night. It just suits my personality. For me, it has, it's not linear, this fragrance. It does take you on a journey. Both fragrances do. But the eau de parfum version, you get that opening of the tea, and then, you know, later on you get the licorice and you get the smoothness of the tonka, and you get the leather, which gives it that all-encompassing grittiness in the fragrance, as opposed to the eau de toilette version, which you get more of the delicate rose in there. You've got the rose in there minus the sour cherry note in there. If it has sour cherry in here, you know, I apologise, but I don't think it does. I haven't looked, so I will look on Fragrantica afterwards. Maybe I should have done that, but you know me, I review my fragrances on the fly, like I do. That's how I do. I'm just spontaneous. So yes. So as I say, longevity and sillage is better on this one as opposed to this one. But being a spring and summer scent, you don't want it to be too dark and heavy. You want it to be a little bit lighter. And this does still perform really well in spring and summer. Actually, when we were in lockdown, and I went and visited my dad one time, safely, like you do, after he'd actually gone back home. And I went into his back garden and I opened the garden gate and walked through, and the wind obviously caught it, and my dad actually said to me, "Oh, you do smell quite nice." So obviously this did have a little bit of a scent trail on it, and I'd had this on about a good 2 hours, so which had still given it that scent trail. I actually like these fragrances, not because it actually projects, as opposed to it giving a scent trail. So as you walk, it leaves a trail of scent. And on me, this is how these perform, and that's why I really do like them. So yes, so Black Perfecto by Guerlain will always be in my fragrance wardrobe. As you know, I have several bottles of this, I have several bottles of that. I just wanted to do a comparison of both of them to see which one you would prefer over the other. So tell me, out of the two fragrances, have you used these fragrances? Do you like the fragrances? Do you not like the fragrances? Do you like Guerlain as a brand? Or do you not like Guerlain as a brand? I love Guerlain as a brand. It's perfection. So, you've been watching another edition of the Fragrantician. Don't forget, don't just dab it on, slap it on. Till the next time, ciao for now.